Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be checking out the long-awaited return of everyone's favourite superhero team, the Titans, in Titans Issue 1 by Tom Taylor and Nicholas Scott. Like every good murder mystery, we skip to the end of the story and find Wally West has been shot by someone, and knowing that he is going to die, he runs back in time through the cosmic treadmill to warn his closest friends about what's going to happen to him and how they must solve his murder. In the present, Nightwing and Donna Troy scout the globe for the rest of the team and lead a recruitment drive, citing how in the wake of Dark Crisis, there is no Justice League and it's up to them to step up and become Earth Prime's protectors, something they have been training for since they were all kids. The issue has so much in common with this week's new Avengers Issue 1, both featuring recruitment drives by the book's main characters and then a big bombastic fight with a giant monster, in this case Titano, who I'm more than happy to see more of since he's a criminally underused villain, and a real dynamic villain at that, since he can be used as both a threat for a singular hero, or he can be used to combat a team like he is here. Taylor uses the giant monster's rampage too, much like Jed MacKay did over in Avengers, as an opportunity to have each Titan get a chance in the spotlight, giving them all something substantial to do in the battle. However, unlike MacKay's Avengers, Taylor focuses on the heroes helping the people get out of the area more than fighting Titano, something I really appreciate since after all, that's the Titans' main goal, to help the people of Earth, and it also kind of separates DC from Marvel and where the characters' focuses are in these particular books. Now the Titans aren't only just saving people from giant monsters, but also smaller injustices like corrupt government officials, something that rears its head in the latter half of the issue as Peacemaker turns up and tries to forcibly enlist the Titans into the American government as the US's own premier superhero team. If it wasn't clear already, the Titans don't work for any particular country. They protect the world as a whole. And I like that Taylor broaches the subject that, yeah, half the team aren't technically from the US, or from Earth for that matter, some not even from this dimension. This piece of plot ties nicely into the larger Dawn of DC plot, which Peacemaker is very much involved in. If you haven't already checked out my videos on the Dawn of DC primer from earlier this week, definitely do so, since he's a very integral part of that, and Amanda Waller's plans for the heroes, which is she basically just wants them dead by any means necessary. That piece of the larger plot ties in really nicely with what they set up with Wally at the start and the end of the issue, with him being shot sometime in the future, and Taylor doesn't just tack it on like other writers would as like an epilogue or a coming up in the next couple of issues sort of thing. It's actually part of the book and a real drive for the team to come together and to help save their friend. The team's overall dynamic is just as great as it's ever been, and why shouldn't it be? All of these heroes have been together for much of their lives, and much of the time they've actually been characters in DC. So them coming together, there is no real sort of clash of attitudes or anything. It's just a very organic feel to the team. They all know how to work off each other, and it's great. Beast Boy and Raven are also finally 100% in a relationship, as past ones have always kind of beaten around the bush with it and done the whole quote-unquote will they won't they thing with them. But Taylor just wipes that off the board and says, no, they're a thing, they're an item, and they're a public item at that, since people know that they are dating, which is something that's really quite awesome and really quite a cool bit of growth for those two characters. Tempest was a character I assumed would be there with the Titans day one, but Taylor swerves the narrative in this part of the book and portrays Garth as rather standoffish when Dick and Donna come to try and recruit him. It's very obvious that he's being influenced by some other force, since he mentions he's working with someone who he thinks is actually doing a better job than the Titans, so I imagine we're going to find out who that is. I'm guessing it's probably going to be Brother Blood, since he's coming up in the next couple of issues, and maybe he's mind-controlled Garth somehow and is going to send Garth after the team, which will be quite interesting, so that's pretty cool. All the family drama is captured flawlessly by Nicholas Scott, a longtime comic partner of Taylor and fellow Australian, whose art is some of my all-time favourite in comics. Scott draws characters as real people, sparing no detail in costume design and giving them really emotive faces, while also delivering some really awesome looking action sequences involving Beast Boy turning into a kaiju to fight the kaiju-sized Titano. The return of one of DC Comics' best superhero teams hits all of the right notes, taking some classic comic tropes like murder mysteries, dead heroes, and inter-team drama dynamics and putting a new spin in on them, setting up a fun and intriguing new iteration of a familiar team and pushing them into the role of DC's premier superhero team. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10.